Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Erin and I do mostly budgeting videos like the one you're about to see here. Thanks so much for tuning in. We're going to wrap up August with our budget first, and then I'm going to go over goals, and then we're just going to call it a month. But the budget was really giving me an issue because I was really hoping that it was going to come out perfectly, like to the penny, and it didn't. And so I'm assuming that I screwed up somewhere, which happens. I mean, I do it all the time. And sometimes when you're working with cash and a debit card and you're making certain payments on a credit card and then you're paying that from your debit card, things can get a little muddy. They shouldn't, but they can. And so I ended up not balancing perfectly, which bothers me. It does, but again, you know, it's a budget. It's bound to happen sometimes to somebody like me. I don't know. I'm not going to say it happens to everybody, but to me it does. So I'm just going to go over this really quickly. So this is what I do at the beginning of the month, which I'll also be doing for September. Oh, and I have my fall mat out, guys. So this is linked on my Amazon storefront as well as my other mats, but I hope you like it. It makes me feel very fallish and cozy. So yeah, I do this at the beginning of the month. And then what I do is I try to fill in the blanks so you can see all the columns aren't complete. And I try to do that as a reconciliation at the end of the month just to see how close I was, you know, like how close did I come? Was I on the money? And of course, like I said, this time I wasn't. But we're going to fill these in anyway. And I'm going to talk about it because what happens is even if, like, say you're doing this the same exact way that I am. Say you're using even one of my printables. And so you're following along and you're doing this exactly how I do. You plot and plan at the beginning of the month, and then you do your reconciliation at the end of the month. If you're doing that and it's not coming out perfectly, as in this case, mine is not, it's okay, because I think what the most important thing is that you're still doing it and that you are putting yourself through a series or, you know, steps of checks and balances. So that's what's important, is that you are reviewing everything. And if there's a huge glaring mistake, I mean, it's good to catch it. Even if it's already been done, it's good to catch it so you can be aware of it. And so things make sense to you. And so you can, you know, know better for next time. So I think that that is the most important thing about your budget, is actually working your budget. So I'm just putting in the actual numbers because, like I said, for some of these, they're pretty spot on. Like, some of my bills don't change, my fixed expenses, but some of them are slightly variable, but I can't categorize them as variables because they're still fixed expenses. So I keep them in the category where they are, and then I just go back and track the exact figures. Because bills come in, and for utilities especially, they can just be a little bit off. It doesn't really happen with things like mortgages. It doesn't happen, as I'm writing this, with our trash. That's pretty constant, but excuse me, mortgages are based on use. So your use can change from month to month. So that's where we're at. All right, so car number 1, these are the same. These don't really change. Well, these don't change unless I made them late, which I don't do that. But if I made them late, I would have a penalty payment, you know what I mean? But for the most part, they don't change. So there are all my actual numbers, and then this totals, because I did this ahead of time, and let me tell you, I did this way too many times because it was just frustrating me that I couldn't get the totals to come out correctly. There was another thing that I did during the month, and that is I listed my prescriptions, like my husband and my prescriptions, because those are different in my mind, I guess, than my dog's prescriptions. I listed them twice. and I put the money aside, and I knew I did it. After I did it the second time, I'm like, oh, okay. And so that money just went to other things. I guess I blew it. And I don't know. Sometimes I do that. And this is incorrect. I have this in the wrong spot. If I put something down that's like $100, less than $100, you can bet, because I'm not going to lie about it, I'm going to spend it. And I probably just blew it on, I don't even know, maybe Ulta. I don't know. I did go there this month, and I had a gift card, and I did have some cash. So that's probably what happened. And it was a gift card from my birthday. So this is $145. Now, what you'll notice, interestingly enough, at least interesting to me, here is that my variables are all just slightly more than I had planned them to be. And that goes for groceries, dog food, and gas. That's because there was a fifth, not full week, but a fifth budgeting week. And I actually listed another, okay, so the 700 is for 4 weeks. The 120 is for 4 weeks. The 400 is for 4 weeks. But since I got paid at the end of the month, I actually took another round of these. So that would be 175, 30, and 100. And I put them on September to get started for the first week of September. Instead of taking them out of retirement, I feel like I'm doing groceries, dog food, and gas all a week ahead. So not a month ahead, but a week ahead as far as payment goes, as far as cash in hand goes. And I don't think that's a big deal or anything like that, but it's just how it worked out. So you'll see here that this is $480, because, is this $480? Girl, see, let me go back and look. Let's look together. All right, so RX 120. RX 65. You know what? I'm going to actually add these as we go. 120 plus 65. RX 65. I don't know what I was thinking. And RX 120. RX 55. So that's 425. All right, so that kind of changes things slightly. Not a lot, but slightly, because I doubled it instead of just putting 425. So the last one I didn't double. So let's white out this. See, this is a process, and this is a video like you have to be really vested in. I know that this video is not going to be for everybody. It's for people who really want to see, you know, like a how did we do situation. And I'm happy, so happy to share it with you. But I don't think everybody's going to be interested in this one. Actually, my videos are doing really poorly, so I shouldn't say people aren't going to be interested in this one. I don't think people are interested in my videos very much lately, period. But I'm pressing along. You know what I mean? So for dining out, $255. So I was very close on this one. Anxiety tax. Haven't found. I haven't been looking. I'm not going to say I haven't found another therapist. I haven't been looking. Household, I'm putting a line here. Windows, I'm putting windows somewhere. Well, am I putting windows? No. So I planned on putting it here. I'm putting a line through that. Personal, no. Amazon, I'm not putting anything. Dumpster, miscellaneous. Miscellaneous is 109. And then other. That's what we're doing. We're doing an other. And that had a window payment in it. And that's going to be $3606.12. No. My God. $927.13. Oh my gosh. Stop. All right, 927.13 for a grand total of 3606. Nope, because I fixed my prescription. Oh my gosh, this is like amateur hour, seriously. All right, so we have 875, 145, 500, 425, 255, 109, and 927.13 is 3236.13. Okay. Maybe that'll fix something. I really don't know at this point. I'm so confused. It's not even funny. I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. Did I have Stella on here? No. Oh my gosh. Stop. What in the world? All right. So 36, 32, 36, 13 plus 155 is, oh my Lord. This is crazy. The dumpster my mom paid for, which was really nice. And it was to get a lot of her stuff out of here. Not that her stuff was garbage, but I'm just saying it was some clean out stuff from her condo still too. All right, so Canva 15, Hulu 9. These are pretty much, I don't get into the pennies on these because I just don't. Now I'm rounding this up to $3, but this month I had it at $2.99, $95, $99. So that's my subscriptions. And then let's get down to our savings. Our savings was a lot higher than I thought it was going to be. So general savings, $200. Christmas Club, I intended to save $100, and I saved $590, which is crazy. Black Friday weekend, I intended to save $100, and I saved $380. And then let's add a category. So Windows category, and then my 1 through 100 savings challenge. So I didn't even plan on putting Windows into, you know, Windows is so screwed up. I don't know. You know, I'm saying this, I didn't plan on saving anything, but I saved $192 in the savings challenge. Windows are so screwed up because I didn't really plan on putting anything aside. I just thought I was basically going to end up putting the rest on my credit card. But as you can see, I put 50 aside here. And then no windows here. No windows here. 600. $160. I put into other. So on my variables, I put that $160 there. And then I swear I had a $580. No? Yeah, right here. $580. So that's $12.30. Okay, so I'm gonna write that down. So let's add that up because I feel like I screwed that up too. So 350 plus 200, 590, 380, 1230, 192, 2942. All right, so for the total for our income, it came in at $10,390.38. The total for our fixed expenses is down here, $37.67. Total for variables, $339,113. and subscriptions $95.99. Total for savings $29.42. So let's do our receipt, and then we're going to make sure that this was correct. Because I still don't know. I don't know. I could sit here and redo everything, which I don't mind doing, but it's such a, I don't know, for what? Like, the money is spent. I mean, I'm going over it. I realize I screwed up. I don't really want to go back and like forensically find my mistake, because I feel like I paid everything correctly, except some things I over budgeted for. But you know what? I think I'm okay. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna check together. So $10,390.38 minus $37.67.82 minus $3391.13 minus $95.99 minus $2942 minus my remaining was $645. That's after every paycheck. $186.99. I don't know. I don't know what I did. But maybe that's just what I have remaining. I don't know. I thought I had it to the penny, but I don't. And so I would like any discrepancies like this to be less than $100. This is kind of high because I feel like there's a mistake in here that is probably very glaring and I'm just not catching it. But $186.99 is the discrepancy that I don't have accounted for. And maybe I did do everything right, and maybe it's my reconciliation that's wrong. I'm not sure, but here we are. And I think it's okay. I mean, it's not my best month, but I think it's okay. It is a very good month as far as savings went, especially savings that I didn't plan on. So I'm happy about that. I can't complain. And as far as my fixed expenses, everything was still pretty much on the money. And my other expenses, if you're wondering what that included, that was my Target, that was my Amazon, that was my birthdays, because I had quite a few of those configured. It was a birthday dinner in there. There was like a lot of like miscellaneous expenses. And I don't categorize them under miscellaneous because that is money in my pocket. So that's different. But here we are. So thanks so much for watching. I hope I do better in September. I really do. I hope I pay attention just a little bit more closely. And hopefully that discrepancy at the end of September will be less than $100. That's my goal. But thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. If you didn't get your September monthly budget kits, those are still available for download. They are listed in the video description, and those are absolutely free. You don't have to pay for those. And if you're on TikTok and you want to join me over there, leave me a comment if you're coming over from YouTube so I know to follow you back. And that's it. I hope you guys have a great week.